recording, I think. Yes. All right. Okay. We'll start seated, comfortable seat. Sit up tall. Close our eyes or take a soft gaze. Check in. Take a moment. Whew. To scare yourself when your mat or your strap falls off the wall behind you. A little bit jumpy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Coming back. So checking in and noticing what you're bringing. And I think it's really, really important to check in periodically throughout the class too. And I think, find out what works for you. So maybe if you find out, so maybe it's the pranayama that really does it for you, that you can add more of that somewhere else in your day. If that really helps you feel more grounded, then maybe you try to add that. So we'll just periodically check in throughout the practice, if I can remember. So we'll notice where we come in contact with the floor or any props that we're using. Notice your balance or any kind of anywhere that you want to kind of lean maybe, or how it takes effort, or maybe it's really easy. So just notice all the things about sitting where you're sitting. I just switched the crossing of my legs, and I notice that I feel kind of crooked, or that I feel like I need to be crooked in order to be straight, or lean, So look for things like that. Moving up the spine, start to notice the breath. What moves and what stays still. And we're going to imagine our breath here. So we're not going to, we will increase the length of time it takes to inhale and exhale, but we're going to imagine the travel of the breath. We're going to imagine the breath traveling up the right hand, up the right forearm, right shoulder, up to the right shoulder, up the right side of the neck, into the right nostril, up to the middle of the head. And then on the exhale, you'll imagine it traveling down the left side of the body, left side of the arm, out through the left fingertips. Your next inhale, you imagine it traveling up the left hand, forearm, upper arm, up through the left nostril to the middle of the forehead, and then exhaling on the right side. Same thing. So we've done this before in other classes. Some people will do it with closing off a nostril. We're just going to imagine it. So you're inhaling, exhale left, inhale left, exhale right. So follow that pattern. Visualizing the path of the breath. To me, it looks a little bit like a wishbone. The next time you exhale on the left side, you can come back to your normal breath. And then take a moment here to notice how that feels. We're going to move into a tabletop position, moving into the hands and knees, onto the hands and knees. We're going to focus on the lower back, low belly area here. So, but moving, starting from the pelvis. So we're going to dip the pelvis forward, so that creates an arch in the low back, and then draw the pelvis back so that you're drawing the belly button in. So inhale, drop the belly. pelvis tips forward. Exhaling, belly button draws in, pelvis tips back. So it's not a full cat and cow yet. We're just working on the lower back. Pelvis forward. Exhaling, pelvis draws back. And I will start to increase the body that's moving here. So more of the belly drops low. Maybe you bring your gaze forward on the inhale. Exhale, pelvis draws back. Maybe start to round through the upper back, pushing the floor away. Shoulder blades protracting, chin towards the chest, and then do it in reverse. So go nice and slow, make it really deliberate. Next time you come through a neutral spine, we're going to circle the wrists. We're going to circle the upper body over the wrists. Now, if this is too much pressure, we are going to do a little bit on the wrists and hands today. So if this is too much and you want to give your wrists a break, you can sit back and figure eight the wrists, like kind of going like this. So your choice, you know, switching directions of your circle here. You can even figure eight here, draw an 8 with your shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to sit back or bring our heels back, kind of like child's pose. You can come down onto your forearms to give your wrists a break. Take some wrist rolls here. Okay, coming back into our tabletop. We're going to extend the right leg back, tucking the toes under. Your left knee is still push up and come back. Press into that right heel. Come forward slightly, lower down, push up, and then back. So it's a modified push-up or a push-up with one knee down. You come forward, down, up, and back. So we're going to do 2 more here on this side. Come forward, down, elbows come in at your side. Your booty stays a little bit high. Come up and rock back. That rock back sensation kind of lengthens the hamstrings or gets a stretch into the hamstring. Come forward one more time here. Come down, up, and back. We'll bring that right knee in next to the left. Tuck the toes under. Sit back for a child's pose. You can come onto your forearms. Taking a little break here. Giving the wrists a break. You can figure eight the wrists here. Come back into our tabletop, moving over here with the left leg extending back. Right knee is bent. Come forward slightly, elbows bend, lower down the upper body. Push back up and back into that left heel. We're going to do 4 more of those. Forward, down, up, and back. 3 more. Forward, down, up, and back. Forward, down, up, and back. And I think, 1 more, 2 more? Let's just do 2 more for fun. Down, up, and back. 1 more. Down, up, and back. So we're bringing our left leg in to meet the right. Tuck the toes under, push back for an extended child's pose, but you can drop down onto your forearms here. Move back into your tabletop. Now you can do this on your forearms, or you can do it on your wrists or on your hands here. So totally up to you and whatever works. We're gonna shift our balance a little bit onto the right knee so the left leg can extend back and lift. Right arm will lift. I like take up my entire space here. If I was an inch longer, I wouldn't fit. Okay, so we're gonna inhale here. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath. Touch knee to elbow if you can. Inhale, extend. Maybe lift a little bit. Arm and leg, and then exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Sometimes balance is tricky, man. I was balanced as heck today. Now, not so much. Inhale up. Last one, knee to elbow. Come back to your bird dog position, arm and leg raised. We're going to place the right hand down on the floor, bring the right knee behind, or sorry, the left knee behind the right, and sit back. So it's almost Gomukhasana. It's almost cow face pose if we were to sit all the way back, but we're still kind of resting on our left knee here. Come back to center. Uncross the left leg from behind the right, and we'll extend the right leg back and the left arm forward. Gonna inhale here, lift slightly. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Lift as high as you can. Exhale, knee to elbow. We're going to extend one more time. We'll place the left hand down, bring the right knee behind the left, sit back slightly. Taking a couple breaths here. Okay, come back to your tabletop. We'll lower the forearms down onto the floor, extend the legs back for a forearm plank. We're gonna rock to the left, tap the right hand down. Go back to the right forearm, tap the left hand down. So you're rocking side to side here. Right hand taps down, finally the left, and then come back to center, lower the knees, push the hips back for child's pose. And forward again, forearm plank, so extend the legs back long. You're gonna turn your right forearm so it reaches towards your left elbow. So it's a crossways on the mat. I'm gonna roll over to the right side, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Forearm plank, side plank. Awesome. Bring that left hand back down. Left hand will go where the right elbow is. And then we're gonna rock over to the left side. Right arm comes up to the ceiling for a left side forearm plank. We'll come back to center, lower the knees, push back, child's pose. Back into your tabletop. Tuck the toes under, push the hips up and back for your first down dog. Paddle out your dog here. Pressing each heel closer to the floor, kind of rocking back and forth. We're going to bring our gaze up to our hands. You can walk your hands back to your feet or your feet up to your hands. Totally up to you. And we'll come all the way up to a standing position. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So let's all join up. If you're not at the front of your mat, we're going to walk up to the front. You walk slowly and all of a sudden you like forget how to walk. Take a breath or two here in your mountain pose. Your belt buckle is lifted, shoulders are back, back of the head is back. We're going to inhale, raise both arms up. I'm going to exhale and take a side bend to the left. You can take your left hand to your left hip, taking a side bend. Inhale back to center. Right hand on right hip, side bend to right. And then inhale back to center. Reach up and then slightly back if you want for a tiny back bend. So we're not crunching anything. It's not going to look dramatic. And then we're going to exhale, bend the knees slightly and forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift or flat back. Core is engaged. You can take your arms out to a T. Pick the toes up and set them back down. Inhale again here. Exhale, fold forward. Pressing down into the heels as we inhale all the way up to a standing position. Maybe tiny back bend at the top again. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Left hand can come to the left hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend right. Right hand to right hip. Inhale back to center. Back bend if you want, tiny back bend at the top of this. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift or flat back. Exhale again, fold forward. We're going to plant our fingertips down. We're going to take a big step back with the right foot, big as you can. We're in a runner's lunge here. We haven't come all the way up yet. We're going to place the right hand on the floor. Left hand comes towards the ceiling. Good. Untwist. We're going to inhale. Both hands come forward off the mat like you're reaching towards the front of the room. Good. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale, come up halfway. Another half here. It's a straight line from the heel up to the hands. And then inhale all the way up to a crescent lunge. Buckle, we're lifting it up. Big inhale here. Exhale, fold forward a quarter of the way. Inhale here, exhale, fold. So you're now halfway. Exhale, fold the rest of the way, placing your hands down on the floor. We'll step that right foot up to meet the left. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment, notice any changes between the left and the right. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. Side bend right. Inhale, center. Tiny back bend at the top here. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale again and fold. Place the fingertips down, big step back with the left foot this time. We're here in our runner's lunge. We're gonna place the left hand down, right hand comes towards the ceiling, taking a twist here. Exhaling, untwist. Inhale, reach the arms out in front. Inhale up, quarter of the way. Exhale here. Inhale up the rest of the way. And we're bringing that belt buckle up with us. We're in a full crescent lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, a quarter of the way. Inhale here. Exhale, fold halfway. Inhale here. Exhale, fold all the way down. Place the hands on the floor. We'll step the left foot up to meet the right. And inhale all the way back up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Check in again. See if you notice any changes. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Place the fingertips down. We're going to take a big step back with the right foot. Oh, my other right. And we're going to lower the heel down. We're going to cartwheel the arms up for warrior two. So I'm facing away. Not well planned on my part. Okay. We're in our warrior two. Our heels are drawing towards each other. So we're isometrically drawing our heels towards each other, creating this engagement through the legs. We're gonna flip our left hand up towards the ceiling, bring it all the way up. The right hand can come down your thigh, behind your back, bending into that left knee. So I get a little lazy sometimes and I start to slowly straighten my front leg. We wanna bend right into it. I have a nice 90-degree angle here. Take a breath. Inhale back to your warrior two. Exhale here. Inhale, take an inhale here. Exhale, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm can come up and over. Bring your gaze up to the ceiling if that's comfortable. There was a TikTok comedy thing. It was talking about how girls do weird poses to smell their armpits in public to see if they stink. Well, here would be one good one. You can check it out. Okay, we're gonna inhale back up to our warrior two. Let's straighten that left leg. Come forward and down, triangle pose. So bring your hand to your shin if you can't come all the way down. You take a micro bend to that left knee. If you want to, you can even float the left hand. Inhale all the way up. We're going to pivot the left foot in, so we're a 5-pointed star here. Hands to the hips, exhale, fold forward. Take a breath or two here. We'll inhale up to a halfway lift, exhale, fold. So you can just hold the position or kind of breathe the position. So you're inhaling up to a halfway lift and exhaling and folding. So either you can be moving or still. Lean forward onto your hands slightly. Pivot the heels in 45 degrees. Inhale up, goddess pose. So the knees are wide, feet are wide, knees and toes are in the same direction, and we're engaging that core. Imagine someone was gonna come up and tickle you. So don't throat punch anybody, but just imagine that someone's gonna tickle you so your core is engaged. Yeah, Susan's already swinging. You can rock side to side. Okay. If you want to add to your rocking here, you can lift one heel, rock, lift the other heel. And if you're feeling feisty, you can lift both heels. We'll lower the heels, pivot the heels back out, forward fold. So we're going to take our left hand, place it down just below our face here. Take the right hand to your sacrum, checking that your hips stay square. We start to roll our right shoulder open. Might not move that much, that's okay. Rather have your hips square than kind of twisting the sacrum SI joints around. Untwist. Right hand goes on the floor, left hand to the sacrum, rolling the left shoulder open. Release the left hand. You can heel toe the feet together. Inhale all the way up to stand. Back to your mountain pose, hands to the heart. Okay. We'll come back up to the top of our mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Place the fingertips down. We're going to take a big step back with the left foot this time. Angle the left heel down. Cartwheel the arms up. Warrior two on this side. So the weight is over pressing to the outside of the left foot. So it's like a long line from your hip down to the outside of that foot, and we're bending into that right knee. 90-degree angle here. Shoulders are resting down your back or shoulder blades. We're going to flip the right palm up, bring it all the way up towards the ceiling. Left hand can come behind your back or down your thigh. You're kind of growing up out of this right hip. You're reaching up and over. We're not just collapsing. See, it's really easy to collapse. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right forearm to right thigh. Left arm can come up and over. And we're growing up out of this posture too. I just caught myself kind of slouching into it with resting my head on my right shoulder. I'm keeping my head still in line with my spine. Still engaged. Right knee is bent. Inhale back up to our warrior two. Inhale, bend that, or straighten that front knee, that right knee, come forward and down, triangle pose. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling or wherever is comfortable on your neck. We'll inhale all the way up. We're going to parallel the feet. Once again, hands to the hips, exhale and fold. This time, if you can, reach for your calves, reach for your ankles, reach for your big toes. Take your feet as wide as you want. Take a couple breaths here. So we're not, if we're holding on to our legs or our toes, we're not pulling ourselves down, but we are kind of allowing it to happen, not yanking on ourselves, but we're kind of grounding through our hands here. Take another breath or two here. We'll release the feet. Press the floor away with the hands. Again, bringing the heels in, and we'll heel toe back into the center here. Inhale all the way up. Step into your mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Woo! A little sweaty, huh? Then again, if you guys are inside in the air conditioning, Mary's probably sweaty, right? A little bit. All right. Notice how this feels. Notice how those kinds of stretching makes you feel, or allows you to feel. Okay. We'll come at the top of our mat once again. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Place the hands down on the floor here, and we're going to take a big step back with the left foot. We're going to place our hands on the inside of the right foot. So you might want to walk your right foot out towards the right. So this is kind of a lizard pose or dragon pose for yin, if you're familiar with those. So you're going to take your right hand and place it on your right thigh, or you can bring it up towards the ceiling. So again, it's very much like our runner's lunge that we did earlier, but with our hands to the inside of that leg. Untwist. So here is what we can do to be a little bit spicier here. We can jump switch. You can try for a little bit of malasana type squat, keeping the booty high. So we're not going to bring the butt way, way down between for full malasana, and we'll switch sides. So the hands are to the inside of the left foot. Left knee is very bent. We take our left hand to the left thigh or up towards the ceiling, taking our twist here. Good, untwist. So again, we can bring that right foot up to meet the left. So our legs are on the outside of our hands. Let me just turn to face you here. Let me back up. We're like that. So it's very much like malasana, but our butt is still lifted. We will bring the right foot back. And then the left. Full plank. Bring the right foot forward. Then the left. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, take a little breath here. Come back into your mountain pose. Adjust as needed. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale again, fold. We're going to take our fingers on the mat. We'll take a big step back with the right foot. Inhale up to your crescent lunge. So from here, our crescent lunge, we're going to exhale, bring the right knee forward, and take a twist to the right. So that we'll inhale here. Exhale, right knee forward, clasp it with your left hand, twist open to the right. So I did it once and I fell right over. So back into your lunge. Right foot is back, left knee is bent. We're gonna inhale here, exhale, right knee comes forward, left hand clasps, inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, untwist, step back into your crescent lunge. So if that's obviously too tricky for me even right now, maybe we break it down a little bit more. So you exhale, bring the right knee up. Inhale, step it back to crescent. Exhale, bring it forward, clasp. Inhale, crescent. And then if you want, you hold it for longer. You bring your right hand out to the right and start to work back into a twist here. Finding a spot kind of eye level, maybe across the room, or for Mary, maybe a tree branch, side of the house. That's your drishti, your focal point. On your next inhale, you'll untwist, step back into your crescent lunge. We'll step forward into a mountain pose. Just take a breather. Notice how that feels. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to inhale up, exhale, fold. We're gonna take a big step back with the left foot this time. Inhale up to our crescent lunge. Our right foot is forward. We're gonna exhale, bring the left knee up. Maybe hook it with the right hand. Do that a couple times here. Move it forward and catch. Start to open up for a twist. Inhale back to center. Step into your crescent. Inhale here. Exhale forward. Inhale open. So we're twisting towards that lifted leg. Left leg comes back. So do that a few times. Maybe we just catch it in the front here, right hand to left knee. And step back to crescent. And then if you want, we can try holding it for a few breaths. We'll untwist, come back into crescent, step that left foot forward to meet the right, come back into your mountain pose. I'm even getting sloppy with my words here, my mountain pose. All right. Shake your legs out a little bit. Take some ankle rolls. Okay, we're going to inhale as we sit back for chair pose. You can lift one heel and then the other. So you're kind of like a little walking chair here. If you want, try coming up onto the balls of both feet. Maybe you come all the way down to a toe squat. So you're on the balls of your feet and you're squatting down as low as you can. Good, yeah. I can't see Mary, so I just see her head. She could be laying down at this point, I don't even know. And then we'll come all the way back up. We'll lower the heels. Okay, one more time, come up onto the balls of the feet, lower all the way down. Place the hands on the floor in front of you, then we can bring them over to the right side or left, it doesn't matter. And then walk them back over to the other side. Taking a twist here. Walk back to center and then to the other side. So we're just going to do some flying pigeon or flying crow pose or twist. I forgot what exactly. So we're going to come to the side here. And if you can place your hands on the floor. So I'm twisted to the right. My left elbow is pressing in to basically the crease between my right calf and thigh. My right elbow presses into my right hip. And you lean to the side here, okay? If you cannot reach the floor too far away, focus on the twist. Bringing your hands, maybe you're on your fingertips and you're focusing on the twist. If this squat is uncomfortable, focus on the twist from above. Imagine that you had your hands on the floor. If you want to, you can start to take up more weight on the hands. It's kind of leaning to the side. We won't get into a full side crow here, but just start to lean to the side. Come back to center, lower the heels, take a forward fold. Give your legs an opportunity to stretch out here. You can bend and straighten each leg. Come up onto the balls of the feet, lower the hips. We're going to try this on the other side. So walk your hands over to the other side. So first I did it on the right. Now I'll try it on the left. Now I don't twist as well this way, so I'm kind of farther from the ground. So you could use blocks, you could use a cushion. Eventually you kind of lean to one side. Eventually you will touch the ground, but maybe that's a little scary. So do what you can. Maybe you just will work on the twist part. And then come back to center. And place our hands on the floor. Come back into a seated position. So we're on our shins, sitting back on our heels. I'm gonna sit over, bring our legs around in front for Gomukhasana. So my left leg is bent, my right leg is over. Now you can do half. Left leg is straight, right leg is over. Eventually, the knees are kind of stacked or in that position or in that, like heading that way. A block or a book underneath your seat bones helps elevate it and give you more space. Takes a lot of the pressure off the hips. And it's easier to sit up taller. So you can stay here. Another option is to fold forward. Adds a lot of compression to the hips. So you do you. Maybe you want compression, maybe you don't want compression. So find a happy place. And if you hate Gomukhasana, that's okay. You can, if you want to do figure four or pigeon or something in its place, you can go ahead and do that. It's not exactly the same, but still good. So this is the pose with the little party trick at the end, if you want to use it. So if your bottom leg is straight, obviously it's not going to work out. But if your both knees are bent, you lean forward, come up onto the fingertips, come up onto the toes, and you're going to unwind. So you're going to twist all the way around until you end up back in this position on the other side. My favorite yoga transition ever. Okay. If you do it the other way, it's all good too. You can sit up tall. One leg can be straight, any which way you want it. And then you have the option to hinge forward if you'd like. It is like considerably cooler today, but I am drenched in sweat. Clearly, I've needed this. Take just a couple more breaths here. And then if you want to, you can unwind the same way you got into it. And then just uncross the legs. Okay, we're gonna come to our seat here with our knees out in front, our feet out in front. It's funny, when I set this up, I could see like all the way to the floor, and then from here I can't. So I don't know what happened. So my feet are flat on the floor and my spine is tall. So from here, you can release the knees and start to sit back, keeping the spine tall. So I just automatically started rounding. I want to keep that spine straight. So it's keeping the chest lifted the whole time and then come all the way up. So have that tall spine. Remember what it feels like. Hold it in position as you start to lean back. And then come back up. We'll keep that spine tall. Start to lean back. Back as low as you can, keeping your feet on the floor, and then come all the way back up. We'll bring the bottoms of the feet together, the knees wide. I'm gonna face you guys, so knees are wide. You can start to hinge forward. So you can hold onto your feet, but we're not pulling ourselves down. We're still keeping the chest lifted, keeping the spine still long. We'll bring the knees together. And we're going to lower all the way down to the floor, keeping that spine long. And if you don't come down very slow, that's okay. We're going to bring the knees up, give them a squeeze. Rock side to side. We'll place our feet down on the floor. Pick up your hips and bring them to the right slightly and lower them down. Then you're going to take your knees and let them fall to the right, to the left. So you're twisting to the right, basically. Our shoulders should be on the floor. And if your knees aren't touching the floor, if your left knee is not on the floor, you can place a block or a blanket or a bolster underneath that to support it. If you want the twist to go all the way up your spine, you can turn your head to the right. See, right now, if anybody wanted to leave class, they could just crawl from where they are, because I would never know they left. Susan waves. Yep, you're still here. Thank you. Oh, I saw Mary, part of Mary. Oh, I see something of Lori. We'll start to untwist. Bring the knees up again for a squeeze. Rock side to side if you want. You can circle the knees. I really like to push the knees really far away into my hands, and it kind of rocks across the lower part of the hips. Now lower the feet down. Bring the hips to the left now and let your knees roll to the right or fall to the right. So the shoulders are on the floor If your knees don't touch the floor, then you place something underneath them, or you can place something underneath your shoulder, although I personally like it better under my knees. And then if you want to increase the twist all the way up to the cervical spine, you can turn your head to the left. I feel like I'm wringing myself out right now. And then we'll untwist. You can hug your knees in again. We'll give a couple options here for the next pose. You can do well, anything you want basically, because it's your practice. But if you want to do a supported bridge or an unsupported bridge, you can do that. You want to do legs up a wall, you can place, or like a modified shoulder stand, you can place a block underneath your hips and raise your legs. Another one would be a kind of a heart opener, and you're rolling your shoulders underneath. So you could do that in your bridges and in your supported shoulder stand. So basically whatever you'd like here. We're rolling the upper arms underneath us. We can start to bring the feet back underneath us, move the block out of the way, whatever pose you're in, you can start to come out of it. And then we'll come into our final relaxation pose, whatever that may be. And if you have to make any movements or do any poses to make you more comfortable for your Savasana, you go ahead and do that. You prop, a blanket, a pillow, whatever it may be. And see if you can wrap your upper arm bones under, even in this. So you're checking in again and noticing how you feel. We'll do a little Savasana, a little pranayama here in our final relaxation pose. So just like we did in the beginning, we're going to visualize the breath. We're going to visualize the path of the breath moving in and out, up and down the arm. So inhaling the right arm through the right fingertips, right palm, forearm, upper arm, shoulder, neck, all the way up through the right nostril into the middle of the head. And then exhaling on the left side, left nostril, left arm, left fingers, And then the inhale on the left side, fingers, hand, arm, shoulder, neck, forehead, and then exhaling down the right. So we'll continue like that. And if this becomes stressful or, anything like that, you just leave it alone. You just stop. And the next time you exhale on the left side, you can release the pranayama. I want you to visualize yourself laying on the floor. I want you to picture yourself wiggling the fingers and your toes. I want you to imagine yourself rocking your head side to side. Imagine what that looks like. And now you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can start to gently rock the head side to side. Before you start to roll over, I want you to visualize or imagine yourself rolling over to one side and yourself pushing up to a seated position. And now you can start to roll over to one side. Taking your time, you'll eventually come up to a seated position. Allowing your head to come up last if you can. Come back to your seat. We'll check in one final time here and notice how you feel. And see if you can do that throughout the day, the rest of the day. Do something, notice how it feels. Take the time, take a pause between, doing the dishes and running outside or whatever it may be. Just kind of take a moment, take a breath, check in. And we'll thank ourselves for practicing together this afternoon, evening. May we all feel loved May we all feel grateful. May we all feel connected. And may we have the strength and courage to overcome all the obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.